I'm going to explain the job control spreadsheet to you. This is a very useful piece of software. You can log inquiries. It produces site survey forms of different types. It costs jobs out in various ways. Then it can produce quotation letters, job sheets, start date letter, invoice, and also if necessary it can send chasing letters of varying severity. We're going to begin now by typing in the client details. At the client details we've also allocated an inquiry number, which will also become a job number if accepted, and then we need to type in the what the client is asking for. We've typed in the schedule of work and we've also put some job notes. At this point we can produce a site survey form. We've got various types. The information is flowed down for the electrician. He can then go out and fill in what is required. We can now cost this job out. Because it's a domestic rewire, we can use this costing sheet. We've got other options which we'll talk about in a moment. So this is set up all ready for you to go. Now before you use the spreadsheets you would type in your unit sell prices ready for us to type in the quantities. We've now typed in the unit sell prices, which obviously you would have done before, and brought the template out. We can now type in the quantities, and the spreadsheet now has worked the prices out. It's added it up and it's taken it through to the control sheet, and we're now ready to produce a quote letter. Notice we've added a little bit more information. This section builds up as you go along. We've typed in the quotation date. We can now go over to the quotation letter, and that's brought all the information down, and obviously you would have printed out a schedule of work which you can do from the software. The customer then can send in the quotation acceptance slip, and now we can continue putting more information on the control sheet. If the client has given you an order number, you can type in the details. You can type in a start date, and that then is filtered down, and you can send out a start date letter. And this can go out on your letter-headed paper, and then you can produce a job sheet. At this stage we can also allocate on who's going to work on the job. If you look at the job sheet, it's brought all this information down, which you can now issue to the electrician who's going to do the job. This prints out, and there's room for the electricians to put any notes, to put details of the work that they've carried out, the time and any materials, and also very, very useful if they've done some extra work, they can make a note of that as well. And we can amend the quantities to suit. This is updated prices. This took it through to the control sheet. We now can add extra information to the control sheet. We can type in the completed date. We can put the certificate number in. It's other information that you need to know that's useful. The test certificate number, you can keep control of the job. And now that is filtered down, and you can produce an invoice with all the information in. Again, you would refer to the schedule of work. Now, schedule of work can easily be produced. If we go back to the costing sheet, you notice that you've got two buttons here. If you just wanted to print the items out without the prices, it would do that. If you wanted to show the client the prices, you could select that option. Now, the example just revolved around a rewire. If it was a more simple job, you could just type in the basic information. If you no need to go out, and you could quote it from experience, you can type in that part there, which will produce the price, and then you type in that would just produce the invoice. Another way of working, if you wish to set up templates of job scenarios, you've got this way here where you've got templates where you can type in complete paragraphs which you can cut and paste to the schedule of work and produce a schedule like that. Now the idea behind these templates is if you can type in complete paragraphs of whatever you're doing, and then all you've got to do to build up the quotation is to highlight the one that you want to transfer, merely just copy it, go back to the control sheet, go back to the schedule of work, and it's a very simple matter. We're just installing it. If you wish to work on a time and material basis, you've got the ability to set up labour rates and number of hours. You've got the ability to put your own materials in and work like that. So whichever way you work, you've got all these different printouts you can take out. You've got the different ways to cost it, and you've got two types of invoices, one with schedule and one without. When you finish the job control spreadsheet, you can then save that into your folder and file system. If you give it the postcode of been working and also your inquiring job number, you can go back to it and look at it at any time, and it's also very useful to remind you if you need to do any follow-up work in the future.